My computer's really laggy. My computer's going to heaven. What's going on?
I don't know. I saw my face and I saw myself going retarded, and then I was like, oh, I don't know what's happening.
Was it proper laggy for you?
Yeah. I didn't see shit. I just.
Hold on then, because we're going again.
Not again.
Going again. Should have said it was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
That's very good.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. You went. All right.
What an intro, Dave.
Yeah.
The second time round.
That was interesting. The only thing to say is, all right, me babbers, how's everything? And I'm Bristolian Dave, and I like Easter eggs. And kangaroo, apparently.
And singing.
Hey, I'm a fantastic singer, man. You just never heard my tunes. My Bristolian perfection.
I didn't think Bristolians had mastered perfection.
Well, you ever heard the Wurzels, mate? I'm telling you.
Nope.
Nope.
Anyway, let's bring in. Who should we bring in?
Let's bring in the one that looks like Scar from The Lion King. With his hair down.
Oh, I don't know which one that is. I'm guessing this one. Yeah.
That's me. How's it going? My name's Scar, and I'm here to be cool. I like the singing day.
This is like one of the most awkward fucking intros.
It was so laggy to start with. I saw like 2 frames out of the whole thing.
It's this computer. It will work fine all day, and then when I need it, it goes. Right. Let's bring in.
If your computer's doing that, mate, I'd suggest you find a new joystick to play with.
Favorite one.
Dude, yeah, the work I put into that video, and it got gnarled. What the absolute? Come on.
It's not on, is it? It's not on. Well, what we'll do is we'll play it again a few times throughout the stream.
Maybe have Area play it on his super duper souped up computer.
Gonna see that video about 15 more times tonight.
Wow.
Like we did.
Yeah. There is a couple more of you, Dave. So we can get them going as well.
You know I'm going to want copies of these, yeah?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Have them. Obviously, today is still Easter Monday, so we're doing the Easter Monday special because of the OG Jesus died and came back. So that's what we're doing today. Talking about superheroes and other stuff that have died and then come back to life. And to help us do that today, we are bringing in none other than Harry Potter and Hagrid.
I was wondering why you'd bring in Dean before me. G'day everyone, I'm the man called Kemosabe, the man with the plan from the land down under. As you can see, I actually am Australian. I actually am from the land down under, not like this poser next to me who doesn't even have a camera.
Can I just say at this point that having your picture upside down doesn't make that much of a difference?
No. Because the beard and the hair,
it's upside down.
It's interchangeable, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, I never noticed how much Aria does look like Scar. That's uncanny. I can't not see it now.
When he's got his hair down, like it's like a
Yeah. Be prepared. Yeah, that's right. This is on you, Dave. I can't not look at that.
Look at that L'Oreal looking.
Yeah, exactly. For the boomers around, it'd be like, thinking of like men in suits walking behind him, walking down the street, and the men in suits. Is he or isn't he? Like wearing a particular kind of hairspray.
It won't happen overnight, but it will happen. I can't wait to get my hair back and longer again. I miss having long hair. I'm growing it back, but it's going to take me a couple more years to get to sort of Aria's length. Should never cut it off.
Commercial, but the kind you get from like Poundland's brand L'Oreal.
It's just proper lorry in it.
Fell off the back of a L'Oreal.
I'm presuming Dean is going to be quiet throughout this show because he's got to keep falling asleep.
No, I'm waking up. I'm just waiting for my turn. Like, once this caffeine kicks in, you won't be able to shut me up. And after that intro, I realized you guys really do need our Aussie help, so...
Well, as Neve says, bargain bin quality, as expected. We're not called a bargain bin for nothing.
Never disappoints.
We are once again asking you for your financial support.
We have the Graphic Goose has joined us. He saw maybe 7 frames. That's more than everyone else.
Yeah.
So you are.
Hopefully they were the good frames.
You only need 7 frames, Dave. You don't need 50 shades. You need 7 frames.
Michael McCartney says we'll get in trouble for the song, but the last time we did it with Rob's amazing rendition, we didn't get in trouble for that one. So we probably will now.
It depends on how long the song is. Like, you can play 30-second clips and stuff like that.
I think the songs are only 14 seconds and it cuts out.
Yeah, you won't get in trouble for that.
Oh, that's all right.
I bet that's why they chose 14 seconds as the length. I bet that is the limit.
Yeah, having said that, I did upload it to my underused YouTube channel so I could share the link with Captain Zod. And they warned me. Oh, yeah, it's got like copyright material. So, ooh.
I think we're just too little for them to care.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're making the rounds. Hello. Say that again, Dave.
I had a couple of strikes on my channel. I've had 3 copyright strikes so far over 2 streams.
Believe it or not, I've only ever had 1.
I can't understand how you're constantly playing other people's stuff. I'm surprised you still have a channel, especially your educational videos.
It's because I'm clever, right? Like you never use the actual song; you use the parody of the song, and then you can't get in trouble.
Nice.
Yeah,
but like surely the parody is also,
Yeah, but I don't get a notification for that. Like, I'm sure their video was never monetized, but I don't get any notification, and nothing happens to my stream.
Under some laws, parody's protected, so it might be an issue that like Weird Al, like his parodies are legally protected. He can't get into trouble for doing a parody of a song. He doesn't technically need permission of the person that makes it. He just gets it out of respect.
Yeah, but still, he's
law in it. You can parody stuff.
I think so.
Yeah,
but
at least in civilized Western countries.
He's a recording artist who recorded that parody, so surely that for him is under copyright.
That's
yeah,
right.
but I don't think he was allowed to copyright it because it was not his song that he like. It's most of the. Have you ever watched our stream? Most of the songs are just like a dude in their backyard. Yeah.
I mean, that covers most Australian industries. It's just a dude in his backyard. You don't take it to the mechanic. You take it to Steve down the street. He'll fix it.
Yeah.
All right, so wait now, because we're just about to launch the first Australian rocket.
Exactly. Now, where's the switch? Good at that. It won't light.
You know what I didn't bring up last time was the old Monty Python. Oh, now it's time for a national anthem, the national song. This here plant's a wattle. It's the emblem of our land. You can stick it in a bottle or you can hold it in your hand. Amen.
It's not far off. I think.
Close enough.
Yeah, I like a minute works come from the land down under, I think we should switch out the national anthem for that. I think that's much more spot on with the regular Australian Day. That tends to be how we spend our time, bumming around the beach in a combi, getting drunk, eating cereal. Sounds like Dean's weekend.
Hold on. Mrs. Black.
Roasting me in the live chat.
I was going to say, Mrs. Black.
To be on Team Aria. She's giggling to herself over there in the corner.
Ariola Black.
That really changes the whole definition of the word.
That was Star a minute ago. How did I get demoted?
Name a bigger downgrade.
You know, that was the name of the exchange student in Not Another Teen Movie. She's like the European exchange student. You know, like in Apple Pie, Nadia.
I haven't seen that film since I was about 13.
Oh, man, I mean, it's excellent because, you know, like she walks around completely naked. You know, like because she's a European exchange student, right? And her name's Ariola. I'm sure there were two reasons you should watch that film.
Right, let's get onto topic a bit, if we can.
People showing up in the chat, so you got to say hello to my fellow Welshman.
Oh shit, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, and the other one. You know, Comicsmate.
Look at that! All of the Wales in one place at one time.
Now I feel bad for Jason Black. He's still the only CG New Zealander that I know.
Don't forget, I'm a quarter Welsh, so you got 2 1/4.
Historians, so piss off.
2.5, I guess.
It's generous.
Yeah.
Isn't Neve part of CG Wales? Or was she before the Ariola comment? I said, was she CG Wales before she told us all to call you Ariola?
Yeah, now she's outcast. You know what, we're just gonna break up at this point.
That's the safest bit. Clean break.
I was expecting to see a cop come flying in then.
Yeah, like, oh what?
Oh shit, the graphic goose is Welsh as well.
Oh yeah,
that's too many.
Look at that, we've already doubled the Welsh CG.
I mean, deep down, aren't we all Welsh?
I think the problem is these.
If you feel a certain way about sheep, yes.
Oh, speaking of CG New Zealand, now these Welsh are starting to be a problem. They're multiplying like rabbits. We've had 1, now we've got 3. I think we need to start taking some sort of steps towards a solution, fellas. Some sort of final
fire
solution.
Oh, wow,
that's your answer for everything, Dean.
We tried sticking them up in the mountains, and they just keep coming back down.
Castration for all.
Dave's a big fan of eugenics. Interesting topic, boys. Deaths and resurrections in comic books. It's just curving it right back around.
Yeah.
I think
resurrections.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I thought it was erections in comics.
Yeah.
We can talk about that as well. What's your favourite erection in the comic world?
Technically, they die and rise, I guess.
I think that Mallrats movie had a good mentality about Jason Lee's character was talking about, like, you know, the Thing, and you know, had different superheroes that have got different characters that have got different physical appearances, are going to have very, very unusual junk, very unusual equipment. I think there's a whole show there if somebody really wanted to delve into it.
Do you want to dive in, Rob?
He brings up the Thing and Silver Surfer. The Hulk.
Silver Surfer doesn't even have one, or does he? Is it like
Does he?
Has 2.
You know, is it like Quicksilver and it's just sort of melded in, and then when he needs it, you know, like
that's what I was thinking.
There's options there, you know, and he can reconfigure his body and survive flying through a sun. Surely summoning an erection can't be that much of it.
And then he got the classic Green Goliath, you know, the Hulk.
Yeah.
How long have we been doing the Bargain Bin show now, guys? Is it about 2 months?
Something like that.
Do you remember how timid like Neve was when we started?
Goose, boo, goose.
Seems to be super quiet, and now I don't know what's going on in Wales land.
Okay, how Rails land? How about this? How about Neve? She knits like a selection of willy warmers for superheroes, and we got to guess which superhero they would be suited for.
It's the one that looks like a canvas sack would be the Hulks.
Is that her laughing in the background? Titty, you not.
So, Rob, what was your favourite erection?
What, since this morning?
How many have you seen since then?
My favourite erection's got to be La
Gotta be
Casa
your
de la
own.
Familia Sagrada in Barcelona. That's a pretty good building. I'll get my coat.
I thought that was your friend.
I think any fella's got to answer his own's his favourite.
Yeah.
If another fella's not is your favourite, I don't know. You're doing it like you're the only one who gets to use your one. Like,
Wow,
Yeah,
my favourite
that's
they don't
mine.
share in Australia.
I don't think anyone's gonna,
No,
I don't think
it's-
anyone in this show is going to admit to like, oh, well, my favourites is, you know.
Well, yeah, my favorite is Kemosabe too.
Christine to
missed
go
that.
there.
What was that?
My favorite, that's Kemosabe's as well.
That's a nice one. Let's like
Is
I mean,
is
should
it-
we take a vote?
is it also upside down and bushy?
it is actually it is. Like the balls on top.
Yeah,
It's tricky.
Right,
hang
you're
down.
not,
All Australians are like that. Actually,
All
it's not even.
Australians.
Yeah.
really laggy.
Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna shit, mate.
I would
I bet
suggest.
it's because I've got.
How old is your computer? And
If
do
you
you?
put the file,
not
send the
that
file through, and then you can
Well,
share.
he
it.
tried to file and it didn't work. Yeah.
Well,
Cameron,
stop
say
being shit.
today.
You know what? We'll
I
have
think it's because I've still got art pages open.
Technical difficulties.
Has your computer got COVID?
So back to these erections then.
Maybe.
I'm sharing my screen with you, Jacobus.
I think the surprise is like past us now.
Oh, no, guys, forget everything you've seen before. Oh, God.
Having some technical difficulties.
I'm going to call it a day on that.
You know what? I think
Bloody hell!
on some level, you guys don't want to play this video.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Self-sabotage.
obviously. My
we
God.
don't want to treat our guests that badly.
No.
We'd like them to come back.
First comedy part fucking pops up right at the worst time.
Yeah.
The worst CGUK on the network. Are you streaming as well, Mark?
No, it's not a war, Mark. We'll finish it, mate. We'll finish it.
Yeah.
Oh, are we going to ask the what's the order for today? Are we going to ask our guests some stuff, or
We can. Actually, we'll probably
Yeah.
start by asking our guests because they seem a bit more, probably not organised, but ready than we are. Do you want to go first,
Hey,
Dave?
speak for yourself, man. I'm
All right, Dave's ready. Dave's ready. Take the.
Tell us how it's done.
I'm ready for it.
Stage right. It's just
I
This
can't go
is
back
my
any
collection.
No, so deaths and resurrections and whatnot in comics, it's happened. It used to be really good because it was very rare. Now it happens every week or two.
And name a character who hasn't died and come back to life.
especially in DC. If you look at like the Justice League, almost all of them have died and come back, and these are the biggest, big ticket, big name characters. Like I think Superman dying, coming back was a sort of a cultural zeitgeist. But like one happened to Wonder Woman, Batman got like killed by Darkseid and sent through time and come back. Even if they haven't died, they've been thought to be dead and come back. Green Arrow, I don't even know how Green Arrow come back to life. He got killed off, and then he was. Exactly right. So it's come to the point where it's they're killing him off just for that shock value and that cheap sales spike, and then somebody else a couple of years later turns up and says, "Well, I love Green Arrow now. I can't write him." Kevin Smith says, "Oh fuck this! I'm going to bring him back to life," and that's what he does, and it cheapens and it makes it not a lot of fun at all. If you had your Jim Shooter style editorial back in the day, it would matter. Like bringing back Bucky, for example. As Winter Soldier, that's a solid win, I believe. There used to be a bit of a joke, a bit of a rule. Only people that stay dead is Uncle Ben and Bucky, and then Bucky come back to life. I'm just waiting for Uncle Ben's solo title spin-off to start. But Bucky coming back.
There's that alternate universe Uncle Ben who is the Spider-Man of his universe.
Spider-Man. Bring him back.
Uncle Ben did come back.
I've got two. Batman's parents.
Yeah, they've got to stay dead.
You've got the alternate Earth Batman and the alternate Earth Joker, where Bruce Wayne died, and Batman and Joker.
I really love that. That's the best thing to come out of Flashpoint.
Hell yeah, it is.
That's so good. It's so good. Have his mum as Joker and his dad as Batman, and he's just this angry old dude with a gun. It's just fantastic, and he's running all the casinos in Gotham. I would read an ongoing of that. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, my favorite one is Jason Todd.
Red Hood Jason Todd, hell yeah.
Yeah, mainly because of how long it took them to bring him back.
I didn't like Jason Todd as Robin before the whole Red Hood thing happened. That actually made him he probably is my favorite Robin out of all of them. And it's all because of the whole Red Hood resurrection and how much of a badass they turned him into after everything else, because he was probably the worst Robin when he first showed up. He was a Dick Grayson copy. Like a 100% copy, and then they retconned him into a real dick, and
there's two Jason Todds, because there's the one that was caught stealing the tires off the Batmobile, and that's the modern one. But the Silver Age one and it's not like early Silver Ages, late Silver Ages, right before you sort of did the switch to the Bronze Age. His parents were circus performers that were killed by Killer Croc.
It was just a carbon copy of Dick Grayson, and they just wanted to replace Dick Grayson. It's why he looks exactly the same as well.
Yeah, and then you got that bit when Morrison was writing him, and he said that Bruce made him dye his hair dark to look like Dick Grayson. He's originally actually more of a ranger. I don't know if that's still in continuity, but that shows sort of links they went to try and replicate, because he couldn't have him turning up with Commissioner Gordon, and he's like, "So you've you've wrangled another 12-year-old into tight pants to fight crime and nearly die for you." I'm a cop. I have to arrest you, man. I know it's not going to go well for me, but I got it.
The invisibly gay duo.
I'm a police officer, right?
Like you're literally breaking laws right in front of me. I mean, the whole, even without going into like the gay subtext that some people want to push, is the whole idea of getting like a kid to fight grown-ups and to come in and help you with your crime fighting crusade is a bit messed up anyway. Like there's a bit where. Oh, so illegal. There's a bit where Wally West says to Batman, "How are you going to lecture me on to keeping my kids safe when you've lost 4 Robins?" And everyone in the whole room just goes, "Oh shit!" But there's another great bit where Batman grabs Wally by the shoulder to give him some advice, and Wally changes costume like just like that in a second. He said, "Bruce, you got your hand on me because I let you. Don't think that I know you're Batman, but I'm the Flash. Come on, son. Don't even."
Right. I just need to say something. I'm about to share a screen. But I feel like I need to say,
courtesy of Michael. Okay, he's in the chat. All right, Michael McCartney. This is not mine.
I was going to say it's also not my screen that I'm sharing.
There's a lot of disavowing, and the screen's not even on the screen yet. How bad is this going to be? This can't be worse than that.
Nice.
See, he's out. Done. When they first had Areoli, I was expecting somebody to get a picture of Aria and actually put the big nipple right on his face as the Photoshop. This is next level. I didn't even think of this. This is 4D chess.
That could only be improved by having 2 different photos.
Oh yeah. Because most people are lopsided anyway.
Where's Ariola gone?
That's on Twitter. Don't blame me. That wasn't me.
He was never heard from again.
I think Maeve's dead.
Okay, I'm back. I've had my tantrum.
I moved up the ranks. Can I just go backtrack a second? Did you say one of the Robins stole the wheels off the Batmobile?
Yeah.
Was this like putting? Is this a picture of like bricks underneath?
Yeah, on bricks.
Yeah. Put it on bricks.
He got caught doing it. He was taking off the last wheel as Batman showed up.
Which I kind of think, I sort of imagine he'd have proprietary bolts and stuff. Like you couldn't just come along and take the wheels off the Batman. You got like, say, I got a spanner. You just some dude jacking rides. You're like, oh shit, that's the Batmobile in the alleyway, boys. Come on, let's get the wheels off that. Nah, you got like little bat themed proprietary bolts that are like not even a non-Euclidean geometry or some shit. Like if he's got prepared enough to take down Superman in some continuities, there's no way you're taking the wheels off his ride. It's one of those things where they nerf someone for the convenience of the story.
Yeah.
Unless he spent so much time preparing for Superman, he thought, what 12-year-old dickhead is going to try and rub the wheels off the Batmobile?
That's it.
but like the super villains wouldn't come up with such an idea.
I think the Penguin would.
I think take over Gotham, but let's
no,
try
it
and
took
take
a
over
homeless
Gotham.
12-year-old.
No, we could try and steal the wheels off the Batmobile. No. Let's just try and take over Gotham.
Let's have this huge elaborate plan, and then the henchman comes back in holding one of them. He's like, "No, boss, seriously, I just got one of the wheels. If we take the rest, he's screwed. He can't get anywhere. It'll just be him and his little zip line."
Let's go put that wheel back.
Oh, fine. I think there's a whole skit there. There used to be these fantastic threads on 4chan where people would pretend to be, it's like a little, just little jokey ones where people just post and they'd pretend to be henchmen in Gotham and they talk about who was the best villain to work for and what issues and problems you can, working with the Joker. If you don't laugh at his jokes, he kills you and that sort of stuff. And there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. I remember reading and thinking you can make a really good little comic about that. I know it's been done 100 times before, the henchman sort of thing, but I think you can make I started watching that Harlequin show with the chick off Big Bang Theory in it, and it's awful. So I stopped, but I think you can make something of that caliber that would entertain people and appeal to people, even if you hated yourself for making it.
I haven't seen the Harlequin thing yet.
What was that, mate?
That Harley Quinn show with Big Bang Theory chicken. I haven't seen that yet.
First season's really good. Second season's woke.
Oh, I saw the first season. Don't watch the second season.
Yeah,
basically just don't watch the second season and enjoy the first season for what it is, because it was really funny.
And you got to persevere through the first episode, because the first scene of the first episode, dropping F-bombs like no one's business. It's like going, look how edgy we are. Oh, we're a world where Superman exists and we're saying fuck all the time. It's like that. I watched the first 5 minutes. I'm like, nah, I'm out. And I had nothing else to do at one point. I was what do you call it, like nursing the kids, and I was stuck on the couch and that was on the screen. So all right, I'll give it another go, and I watched a couple of episodes. Yeah. I don't have much more to say about it. That's about it.
What are you posting in the chat there, Rob?
Okay, that's a video of Saturday Night Live's The Ambiguously Gay Duo. I don't know how many of you actually know that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's excellent.
The Saturday Night Live thing that's actually funny? What?
Back in the day, back before they got woke, because it's poking fun at the gays, which you can't just do anymore. That makes you homophobic.
Well, it's not really that. It's like it's the whole thing that Batman is gay. Like the Batman and Robin were so ambiguously gay, and the poses that they made in that cartoon were just absolutely hilarious.
And they managed to replicate that Hanna-Barbera animation style perfectly as well. Like it's and the sound effects and everything. Like if it wasn't for the content, you'd think you'd found some lost Hanna-Barbera cartoon, and these characters existed alongside Birdman and Captain Caveman and all that sort of stuff. But I think Jason Todd, just speaking of Jason Todd, that's another example of a win where you bring a character back from the dead and it actually works and there's a net benefit, because now we've got Jason Todd, we've got Red Hood in the in the Outlaws and all the stuff that's happened there. And that was one of DC's more well-received books over the last couple of years. If you have that, like I was saying, Jim Shooter style editorial from the top down, they can say, okay, let's bring a character back, let's make it worthwhile, let's make something good out of it that people are going to enjoy, and the loss of impact you get from bringing that character back to life is offset by all the comics you can sell about the character because they matter. But when they bring back, there's a joke where I remember this, in Wizard magazine, Jean Grey got shot with a laser and died in some little parody comic, and Scott's like, Jean, no, and she goes, it's okay, Scott, it's a Marvel comic, I'll be right back. You know, this is back in the 90s. You know, like Dean wasn't even born then, and they were already making jokes about it.
That reminds me of oh, never mind. Don't worry.
It reminds you of something that happened in the last 10 years because that's how long you've been alive.
Yeah. I was trying to remember the 90s, but it was.
You went around it. They never lived through a year that started with 1.
Right. No. It reminds me of like Jason and Batman's dynamic. This is it. When Jason died, right? Like you had the whole Batman failed Robin, you know, but there's nothing he can do about that. He's dead now, blah, blah, blah. But by bringing Jason back to life and it's still being Batman's failure because Jason goes off and kills people. He does whatever the hell he wants. He's not what Batman wanted Jason to turn out to be, like to grow up into. And I like that actually makes the dynamic a little even more interesting because whereas when Jason was dead, it's like, okay, you need to get over it, Bruce. There's nothing you can do about it, mate. Like, you tried, like you did your best, but now that Jason's still alive, Bruce is constantly still trying to convince him to, you know, be better and don't kill people, Jason. Do the right thing, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, even as recently as the 3 Jokers, you had Jason shoot Joker in the face. So
that must have felt good. You're exactly right, and that's so you're getting something so much better out of it than if you hadn't done it at all. And that's the only time I think you should bring a character back if it's for the good of the story. I mean, as someone who writes, everything's got to be for the good of the story. And when you said, who was I thinking of? Oh, the character that. It's the same sort of thing with Bucky. Bringing Bucky back, you've got Captain America's failure to keep him safe, and the fact that. He died stopping the bomb as well as Cap going into the drink and his grief. But in a way,
much better than like Captain like Bucky was because Bucky was just Robin. You know, he was just a rip-off Robin for Captain America. But when he came back as Winter Soldier, holy shit!
And there's so much you can do with it. Characters. And you get this fantastic movie out of it as well. Like Winter Soldier is still, in my opinion, the best MCU movie. It's one. If someone said you've got to see and watch one of them, that's the one I'd pick.
It's right up there. Yeah, it's right up there on my list too.
I'd probably pick that or maybe the first Iron Man movie. I still think that's really good.
Yeah, but I've got the Winter Soldier story and on graphic novel, and it's fantastic. It's one of the best written stories they've done. And
in that, is that where they sort of retcon Bucky from being his teen sidekick to being like this lethal little MK Ultra type assassin kid that Cap would turn up for the cameras and fight the Nazis and punch tanks out? And Bucky'd go off and assassinate some scientist and cut his throat and come back. It's like, hey, gee willikers, Cap, we sure did trounce them ratsies. And he's still covered in the blood of somebody that he just assassinated. He's like, well, no, that's not my blood.
No, this is sauce. It's drop sauce.
It's drop sauce. All sauces drop sauce. So, is Marvel better? Is the X-Men better for having Jean come back to life? One that I thought was really interesting was, and it was a while ago now, it was whatever crisis or whatever was happening when Batman shot Darkseid. But before that, there was a bit where Batman said the last time Superman inspired anybody was when he died. And it was really awful. For me, it was a low point of DC crisis than that of these 2 low points where DC's like, how can we make people buy our comics? Let's just have our characters just be awful cunts to each other, just terrible, wretched bastards to each other. It's like you got Superman, the most red, white, and blue, upstanding, shining, glorious monument of what mankind could achieve, and here they are sniping and griping at each other. But sometimes I think it would have been better if Superman had stayed dead for longer, or because I don't see a whole lot of what was done with him up until that point that was worth bringing him back. From the time that he died.
Jean Grey.
Okay, so that's why I was linking the 2 together. I don't think Marvel's any better for having Jean Grey. Imagine if Jean Grey come back. If she died with the Phoenix one, and she come back now.
Never came back. Yeah, like she just never came back after the Phoenix thing.
Yeah. Or imagine if she come back now and made it significant.
It would be a huge deal now.
It'd be huge. But she's died so many times and come back and they thought she'd be dead, and then Madeline Pryor with the clones. Same sort of thing with Superman. Like imagine if he'd come back now, right when DC's at its very lowest. If they'd kept him dead for decades, they could never do that because of marketing. But I think story-wise, it'd be a much more interesting story if you come back. It's almost like Kingdom Come. He comes back to this more broken, darker world, and he's like, Bruce, what the hell, man? I've been dead for 20 years, and this is the best you can do. And he's like, hey, shut up. I don't have superpowers. You fix it. He's
Superman has some good stories, though. Like, at least Superman has some good stories of his own, right? Like, Jean Grey, think about, like, the X-Men have been in all the cartoons and the movies and everything, right? So you get to see them outside of the comic books as well. Like, even normies see them. And every single version of the X-Men you've got the cartoons, you've got the movies, and you've got the comic books. Jean Grey was dead all the time. Like, that was always the only thing that was going on with Jean Grey. It was Jean Grey is going to die, or Jean Grey is dead, or Jean Grey has just come back with the Phoenix Force. You know, like,
Well, that's a superpower.
Yeah, but that's all you ever saw. And they have never done anything more or anything less with it. It's Jean Grey is about to die, Jean Grey is losing control, Jean Grey died just before the series started. And that is what she was. And she is my least favorite X-Men, honestly. Like, I don't like Jean Grey at all.
I've had to assume control of Kemosabe's mute line because I've been distracted by Bristolian Dave's top.
Oh.
I don't.
It's one of those magic eye things, isn't it? You have to kind of like look at it like boss-eyed until it kind of like.
But on the camera, it like sort of.
It's really the Matrix. It's the Matrix.
I know, it's cool. Very cool.
You guys talking about DC, and I'm not really disheartened now because since I've been hanging out with these guys, I'm like, oh god, okay. So I've been like watching a load of like Marvel Cinematic Universe because I've not watched any of that for like ever. Years and years and years, and reading comics, the Marvel comics either. So now I'm like working my way up this 70-step, watch all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in about 70 steps. No, and last night, what did I watch? The Winter Soldier. Hey, so I got that about Bucky coming back to life. But now you're talking about bloody DC. There's no way. I'll be in my 90s by the time I've finished all this.
Well, going back to Marvel then. What they've done with the X-Men now, I don't know if anyone's up to date because I do still read Marvel, unfortunately.
No spoilers.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Dave, we're going to have a talk after this stream, all right?
Take him to the woodshed, Dean.
Well, basically, they've got rid of the whole life and death thing for the X-Men. They developed technology where basically if an X-Man dies, they've already produced a new body for him, so they just transplant their mind.
It's that prestige.
And that's it.
How's that for storytelling, guys? Like,
yeah.
What a way to make everything even less thrilling and less dangerous and less exciting.
Every book, they kill off one or two characters, and it's like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, let's just eliminate risk altogether. One day they're going to kill off characters, and then that machine will be gone, and then I will read the X-Men again.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they killed Kenny! They're bastards!
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, and then he just walks in.
When you're telling a story, you've got to have death is one of the stakes, and it's either professional death, personal death, or physical death. If you take away physical death, then all you've got is like the social death or professional death. Well, the X-Men don't have jobs; they're basically super-powered hobos, and if you and they're all mutants on this little island of exclusionary. Yeah, so there's really no risk at all. There's no professional death. There's no personal death. There's no physical death. There's no risk to these characters. What story is there? There is no story. It's just colourful people in colourful costumes with colourful powers blowing shit up page after page after page. It's no wonder that the sales are lagging and that people aren't interested and that people can't wait for this to be over and be resolved so they can get back to traditional storytelling.
Well,
Michael Bancroft was wearing this woman's shirt and everyone's calling him Blouse Man. Blouse Man returns, Blouse Man forever. So it looks like you're the UK offshoot, Blouse Man UK. That's Darwin Dave.
Nice. Oh god.
Rob, I heard that you had one of your famous PowerPoints.
Oh yes, indeed. Oh yeah.
Wait,
all right.
So PowerPoint. All right, I'll be back.
Oh yeah.
Hang
on. Hang on a second. What have I got? What?
I thought Dave went to crack one off about your PowerPoint.
No, I was going to go.
Okay. So let me know when you can actually see this, because once again, I can't see you.
Top 3 resurrections.
Yay! I love it when a plan comes together. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm working my way up, and I'm thinking to myself, well, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they've even got... Okay, so far, I'm into season 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Obviously, Coulson died and came back.
I didn't know that show went for 4 seasons.
Oh, it's got 6 seasons, yeah. And yeah,
I watched one.
it's not bad actually. It's kind of like it's in the direction of X-Files, and I love the X-Files, so that was good. That's
True.
Yeah. Yeah. But then I thought, okay, so Coulson died and came back, and then May was killed for about 7 minutes and then came back. So yeah. But I thought, well, that's very recent for me. So what I've gone for is the following: the top 3 resurrections that I think are best resurrections. So the first one is, hang on, boom.
If Rebirth Wally isn't here, I swear to God.
There you go. Number 3,
Yeah,
Ellen Ripley. Yeah, that she dies and then she's brought back. She's like reincarnated, but part alien, which I thought was pretty cool. I mean, yeah. So that's one for me.
I was 9 when Alien Resurrection came out, so I love that movie. I have a that has a soft spot.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I remember Aliens was 86, and there's a reason I know that. Yeah, baby. But I don't know when Alien Resurrection came out. Also, obviously after 86.
Yeah, it was in the early 90s. Yeah. I was a small child.
Yeah. So I mean, I remember.
Late 90s.
In fact, I ordered online a copy of the 1979.
97 Resurrection.
No. Oh, was it? Okay, thanks for that.
I was 5.
The graphic novel, which I remember one kid at school actually had that and brought it in, and we were like 9 years old at that time, and it had like swearing and stuff in it, so we were all dead chuffed and excited, and yeah. So, and I can't remember when I first saw Alien. Anyway, blah 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 blah. So. Okay, my number two is there. It's
That's not
Spock.
Did you know that Mr. Spock's first name?
Oh shit! What are you doing, Dave? Stop it.
Why do you have a fringe?
I need a haircut, man. Like normally it's just, but because it's so long. When I watch it, like you double shampoo, don't you, to look after your hair? Like and then it goes all fluffy, and then it's like super fluffy, and then it's like, and now I look like fucking Spock, or one of the Beatles, or I don't know.
You look like a lesbian.
We could be 13.
Hey, if any of them down for some scissoring, man, I'll...
So yeah, obviously, I'm sure some of you know that Dave Spock, sorry, Mr. Spock, came back to life in this search for Spock. So he was killed off at the end of Wrath of Khan. Khan! Yeah, that's the one. And then I think I saw the first. I must have seen the original the TV movie. The original movie. On TV sometime, but I think I saw the first, the second, and third on the same day because it was like an all afternoon movie at the local cinema, and I just was blown away by the third film. I thought it was excellent. So
I've never seen any Star Trek. Like it's just so ingrained. Yeah, it's so ingrained in pop culture and the cultural zeitgeist that I know all these references and things, but I've literally never seen one frame of anything actually Star Trek outside of the new reboot movie, which was terrible.
Or outside of like some show that'll reference it and it'll have 2 seconds of Scotty saying "I can't do it, Captain" or something, and then it cuts back to a laugh track. Like I've also never watched any of the Star Trek TV shows or movies. Yeah. But
I can't change the laws of physics.
I can't.
Scotsman can't do it. Who can?
I don't have the power.
Do it.
Damn it, Jim! I'm a doctor, not a high school geography teacher. All that kind of stuff. Yeah, and So Mr. Spock coming back was pretty good, but I think the search for Spock, it was kind of in the title, so it was not really like a big surprise that he came back. All right. Okay, who wants to guess what my all-time favorite resurrection would be then?
Jesus.
I was going to say Jesus.
Oh, well,
high bar,
okay, pop culture.
One of the Doctor Who's.
Ah,
Yeah.
No, you tipped it because you said regeneration instead of resurrection.
Regeneration.
Yeah.
No, actually, the one with the partition of India and Pakistan was a really good story. I like that one.
Piss off. Get rid of it.
Doctor Who has copped it worse than Star Wars has. The fans of Doctor Who, my heart goes out to you guys because holy shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people have been unfair. I mean, okay, yeah, she's a woman. So what?
It's not.
I don't think that's the problem at all.
Watch some of Rabbi stuff, man.
In fact, I bet there's a bunch of nerds that have always wanted to fuck the Doctor, and now they actually can. Except because of her feminist woke attitude, it has ruined the whole idea of having a female Doctor.
Yeah. Taking all the lead out of the pencil.
Smith now instead.
In fact, you're going to get shamed. You're going to get shamed for even wanting that now.
Water off a duck's back.
I mean,
my doctor, the first one was.
I would definitely like dive into that, but like the Doctor Who. I mean,
all I heard from Dave is he would dive into that, and I'm not sure which one he means.
I think he's not Baldy, sure.
I'm clearly on about
the purple man in the middle.
Tom Baker.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Tom Baker. He was
I like
cool.
Scarf Guy. He's cool.
Scarf Guy. Yeah, that was his technical name. Yeah, Scarf Guy.
I also like Scarf Guy because we have got the same haircut. I feel like kinship with him.
Okay, so that is the end of my. Oh, hang on a sec. I just got to do this. No, there you go. I just want to say that.
In the comments, she's shit. That's the problem.
Yeah,
that has been the biggest problem.
I mean, it's as much a character shit because of the way they're written, aren't they? If they brought back again, going back Jason, Todd, and Bucky, if they brought them back poorly, people are complaining about it.
Shit and good. They have been shit and good in their history. So,
go on, Dave. Say live long and prosper.
Yeah,
I can't do the thing.
What? Can you not do this?
Even I can do the thing.
No, look, I can't do it with my good hand, and my bad hand I can't do it either.
Why have you got a good hand and a bad hand? What are you doing to your hands?
I smashed the glass on that one. I don't know if you can see the.
So it's got nothing to do with the bad hand, like stuff you don't know about.
I got nothing. That means sometimes I don't know I'm using it, so it's like.
That's what he keeps himself.
He wakes up sometimes and halfway through writing a story, and he's like, "What am I doing?"
No, that's how he shares erections. You're talking about sharing erections before. You need a bad hand; it does it for you.
Yeah.
You wake up, you just jerking somebody off. What?
The bad hand's the one he sits on.
Sleeper.
Yeah.
Oh, it's numb now.
I was actually told
the
that.
bad hand's the one that he has to
sit in your left hand for like 30 minutes, and then it feels like someone else is doing it.
I've heard that before.
But I don't think you're going to learn it in the next 30 seconds, Dave. If that helps.
Are you giving him 30 seconds? Because that seems generous.
Already had 25.
No, that's all.
Yeah, the bad hand's the one he has to punish regularly.
Right, we are 50 minutes in. So while I have you both here, Aria's going to have to be on it. We're going to recap the 2 years.
So we did the CG Battle Royale, and so far we have the Company Man, and we've so far allocated the Embrace to the Batman tier. So
Which I'm pretty happy with, to be honest.
So just remind me about how your tiers operate, because I heard you guys talking about it the other day, and it wasn't as straightforward as just who would win. Like a lot of people say, if it's going to be a fight, it's like one-on-one in the middle of a desert, no resources, just drop them in there in their underoos and they punch. So what's the...
The Nan tier is self-explanatory. Can you defeat a Nan? henchman tier is that the level of bad guys that you mainly deal with? So I would rate that as defenders level.
Can you defeat a man?
Man.
Just can you win a fight? Like, have you ever won a fight? Awesome, you're on the list.
There's some people that might not win a fight. You never know. An angry Nan. Look at her face.
Yeah, like fucking
Nan's got life experience, man. They've been through some shit. They lived through the Depression, 2 world wars. They'll fuck you up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
also
we
that's
was even
the-
arguing.
They've seen some shit. They've got nothing left to live for.
Just go ham on you.
Yeah.
Spider-Man
tier
tier is a street level crime, bigger than henchman. Like your Doc Ock, that kind of thing.
Daredevil.
Batman tier
No,
is
change just the Daredevil instead of Spider-Man to save the argument over who would win between Spider-Man and Batman.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man's in the wrong place. Spider-Man should be a little bit higher. He should be in the same one as the Embrace and
But
Batman
it's
and stuff.
but is it because Spider-Man mostly deals with, like you said, Dr. Octopus setting a bomb in the city or Green Goblin robbing a bank?
You know, Batman fights Darkseid with the Justice League, so
Yeah, but I think that's just by default being put in the DC universe. Batman's going to have, like this little bit of a head start from the villains he's facing because DC is like gods among men, where Marvel is like this hero is an everyman sort of thing.
If the world's being threatened by some huge world-ending threat, I'd rather Batman be the one saving my world than Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, same.
So, which is why I think they are where they are on the tiers. Like, clearly, Spider-Man can lift a tank. He can lift 10 tons. He could tear a guy like Batman literally limb from limb. But with all of his resources and everything, and the threats that he deals with on the regular, with Fenagari and technology. No, that's exactly right.
It's also as well. I'd say Batman is closer to Superman than Spider-Man is.
yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. You're not going to see Spider-Man fight Superman anytime soon, but Spider-Man and Batman.
Well, he did. He nearly broke his hands.
Yeah. I know.
Superman just tanked it.
in the 90s. But Batman fights Superman regularly. Like, it is a thing.
So how do you define the Superman tier?
Superman tier is so it's not just Superman. Think Superman's level. Think like Wonder Woman's level.
Yeah, Wonder Woman, Thor, the Hulk, and then even just like Spider-Man's powers are all like tactile powers. Like, he can punch you really hard. He's got fast reflexes. So Superman tier would be someone like Human Torch as well, who's
For that range.
Projectiles, fire, Iceman. They have abilities above that of like.
Yeah, well, Iceman's an Omega level mutant. So
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously we got the God tier with Dr. Manhattan, which no one has claimed the space yet.
Well, I mean, how many characters exist just in all of pop culture that are as powerful as Dr. Manhattan? Like, are on that same level. There's not many.
You've got maybe the Beyonder.
Yeah,
and then you get the cosmic beings like Living Tribunal and stuff, which is getting a bit. I mean, even Galactus is non Dr. Manhattan tier. I don't reckon. Like, Galactus still adheres to laws of physics.
Yeah, Dr. Manhattan would rip Galactus to pieces the same way that he would to many other characters, just like with a click of his fingers.
Yeah, unless you do some sort of because Galactus come from the universe before this one. I would argue that potentially he'd be immune to some elements of Dr. Manhattan's, but like try and take him apart, and he's that's
bitch, the best option we have.
Yeah, like my molecules come from the realm before this one. Your physics don't even affect me, son.
They're not even the same molecules, mate.
That's it.
Yeah.
35 minutes ago.
All of a sudden, Galactus is Australian too. Deal with it.
That'd be so good. We're going to get some media where Galactus is talking and dub it over in Australian. All right, well, you got the company man there.
Yeah. I actually agree. That's probably where I would have put him too, because there's not many characters I would have said could just straight up take out the Embrace, other than like Superman and, well, you got Death and stuff there as well. It's like, yeah, I agree with that.
We also have members of the company man, which is your book, right? We have Cinder.
Is Cinder?
Nice
Cinder's right up there in Dr. Manhattan. He is burning Dr. Manhattan. He can't die or anything.
Yeah, he can reconstruct himself on a molecular level. And he's got that, talking about Human Torch, he's got like that range. He can blow himself up and become a swirling mass of heat and fire. I'd be putting him probably in, there-ish.
He's by far the most powerful of the company men, if you ask me. Like, yes, sure, Abbott's stronger, but Cinder could probably get rid of Abbott if he really had to.
In terms of flexibility of powers.
Yeah.
So are we going Superman tier or above?
No, they're definitely not above.
Right.
I need to
He's
mention
still made of
this.
atoms.
Constantine could take out the Embrace.
I think you said that as well,
Constantine
Dean. That was your.
I said Constantine would have the best option because the best way to deal with the Embrace is because it's it's like a person essentially possessed by a demon or ghost. Like the best thing to do would get a magical character like Constantine, Doctor Strange, Doctor Fate, someone like that, and get them to exorcise David out of Clarence. That would be the best approach, definitely. But I don't think
that actually.
I think Doctor Strange could do it, or Doctor Fate, but I don't think Constantine. He's too dirty and too
Grimy.
greedy. Yeah, like I don't think
Constantine could trick Solomon Grundy into going toe to toe with the Embrace while he does the
Yeah, exactly.
that sort of thing. You do that sort of thing. I think that'd be an interesting character in a future comic to have a dude that has that exorcism ability to go after the Embrace, thinking that he's evil or thinking that he's freeing the kid or freeing the father or whatever, and trapping him in pentagrams and shit. I think you could delve into that a little bit in the future potentially.
Yeah, well, that's definitely the route I would go if I was going to write a story where someone needs to take out the Embrace. It's going to be a magical attack of some kind because we've pretty much got him metal walls all around him when it comes to physical attacks. There's not really much you can do to him.
I should have made a Spawn tier for the Embrace just for him.
just so you could put him just above it to make Dean happy because he maintains the Embrace could take Spawn.
Put him just below it.
Jira,
We've got
I'd put him on the Spider-Man level.
Spider-Man?
Yeah. His powers seem sort of limited because he's just shooting out of his ice gun, but that's just how he channels it. Like in terms of pure destructive ability, it's much, much more, but you don't see that. He doesn't use that because it'll just kill everything. So that's where I'd put him there.
It's probably dangerous for him too.
Yeah, it's not something you'd want to do. Like, how do you come back from that?
Dean.
Ghostbusters. Yeah, the Ghostbusters would fuck up the Embrace.
I was just going to say, when you get a chance, please draw that image.
Okay.
that would be pretty cool. Yeah, Abbott's like Ben Grimm in terms of durability and strength. Ben Grimm, Colossus. So I think you'd be putting him. I think he'd be above Batman. I think.
Superman tier?
I think so. Like his powers aren't as flexible. He's like Hulk. He's big. He's strong. He's invincible. Yeah. He can regenerate.
Where would you put the Hulk or Captain America? That's where I would put Abbott.
Yeah, well, he's like
Captain America in the same place.
He's in between those two, is what I'm saying.
He's Hulk with Captain America's origin.
Yeah, like he's stronger than Captain America, but he's not quite the Hulk. But he's definitely
What's his Dr. Intelligence like?
What's his intelligence like? Well, everything. Yeah, everything about him super enhanced. So his senses are enhanced. His mind operates at a higher level, but he doesn't use it. Like he just likes to get in and punch on. So even though he can do that higher level thinking sort of stuff, he doesn't engage with it because he was brought up blue collar and he doesn't want to do all those $25 word things. It's an affectation. He puts it on. He dumbs himself down.
Technically higher. His IQ would be higher than the average person, right?
Yeah, by far. And he
talks like a redneck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's as much put on as anything else because he doesn't want to be hoity-toity like the scientists that made him and all the politicians. Like he's a direct response to the politicians that created the program that created him. He doesn't want to be like these wankers in suits. So he shaves his head into a mohawk and he gets around on a Harley and he... Yeah.
I can't wait to see him in his spandex outfit that they try to put him up in. Oh, man.
I don't have pictures on here of the rest of the company, man, but why don't you just fill us in quick? Where would they go? And then we'll edit the post.
Yeah. Right? All right. Well, I'd put Gates, the teleporter. I'd put him on Spider-Man. I want to say Spider-Man because his powers are really flexible. Like he can teleport. He can teleport your bullets out of your gun. He can teleport rebar through your head. He's ruthless and he's a killer. He's an assassin. He uses those powers to kill people. I mean, he can teleport organs out of your body or a handful of gravel into your brain, and then you just stop functioning. Like he'll just he'll teleport you 10 feet underground and fuse you into the concrete. But it's one thing at a time. He can't go teleporting a whole bunch of stuff, like 20 cars, and drop them all on you at the same time. Like he's got to be more specific. So that limits his ability to more one-on-one sort of thing. So I'd say Spider-Man, or maybe even the one below, because he'd have to focus on really one opponent at a time. And then Boss is she's a bit like Black Lady Batman. She's a trained human. She's got that bionic hand, but she's got all the resources of the CIA, all of her own resources and secrets and blackmail. Like rather than fighting you, she would find some shit out about your sister and blackmailing you into working for her instead. She'd switch it around. She wouldn't get into a fight. She'd set shit up so that your bank account's drained and you got no money and your mum's got cancer and your sister's about to get turned out. And then she's like, if you work for me, I can fix this all up, you know. And then you're not fighting. Are you working for her, fighting the dudes that you were joining on sides with before?
It's sexy.
Would it be fair to say she's like a Black Widow, Talia al Ghul type character?
Yeah, with that sort of Batman manipulation of setting the battlefield up for her victory ahead of time. Yeah.
But that was what I was thinking with Talia, because she's pretty similar.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
All tactical and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like the idea, though, then.
That's the whole team.
Right. Now, who would win, Company Men or The Embrace?
The funny with those questions, I always come back to, and Stan Lee said the same thing, whoever the writer wants to win. I think I could write a convincing story either way. Dean's got a good point, that short of an exorcism, like when you're dealing with otherworldly stuff, again, this is the Galactus thing, the physics that determine what Embrace can and can't do are beyond our world. Like, how do you punch something that's a ghost? How do you set someone on, like, you know, there's that bit in The Crow where he lights the whole thing up and it's all on fire and he just walks through it. And he gets shot and he has a bullet hole turn up and he heals it up, but he can walk through fire because it was convenient for the cool factor in the story and the mysticism of it all. I mean, for all I know, Cinder could line up an entire building and collapse it on Embrace. He could just walk out of it like a ghost going, whatever, bro. It doesn't even, like, how does Abbott punch a guy like that? I mean, if Abbott claps his hands together, the Thundershock would turn people to paste within a kilometre around him. How does that affect a guy like the Embrace? I don't know. Can you pull the ghost off him?
It probably knocked him off his feet. Like, it would knock him over, definitely, if Abbott did that clap thing. Yeah, it would knock him over. But I don't think I can't stress enough how difficult it would be to separate David and Clarence while they are as the Embrace. You know, like, yeah, like, it would knock him over. It would bounce him down. Like, let's say he bounces down the road, like hits a car or something. But, you know, assuming that, well, even then, like, Clarence can be knocked out. And
what if?
Move around. So
what if?
I really don't know what you'd be able to do.
I think with all the powers combined, they might, you know, hit him with all this heat, you hit him with this ice stage level freeze, that sort of thing. And what if, in the midst of all that confusion, Gates teleports David off of and out of Clarence, just separates them just for a second? That's all you'd need. Then Abbott, problem solved. Or Boss gets the technology, resurrects David, says, hey, here's your son, here's his body in a big tube, we're going to bring him back to life and we're going to put his soul back in. All you got to do is give up.
Yeah, the best thing I could think of would be the Company Men could definitely, like, hold it out for the timeout, you know what I mean? Because, like, with the whole ghost thing, there's a lot of limitations involving, like, day and night time and, like, how powerful he is at night compared to what he can do during the day, things like that. Because, you know, it's a ghost, it's a horror story with superhero stuff in it. But if there was anyone that could just straight up just waste the entire fight away until, you know, the Embrace ran out of time, it would be the Company Men, because they could just keep going at him over and over and over, take turns, you know, like there's a team of them. So overwhelming him, like, even if they couldn't defeat him, they could just, in the long run, wear him out, definitely.
So this guy, he can, like, who's the one who can do the clap thing?
Well, Abbott, he's just that strong, you know, like, I think people really underestimate. Pardon?
How strong he is.
Yeah, what's his name?
Abbott.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. I'm just thinking, I mean, that would be a nice, like, you know, thing for the future, that, like, you know, if he ever gets out of superheroing, then he could work in an abattoir.
That's the easy way to make mincemeat. You can save yourself hours of processing. Yeah.
But then you get little bone chips in it.
Demolitions. There's a Fantastic Four one where Thing was working demolitions because they were bankrupt, and he said, "Look, I got to let you go because you're doing the work of about 40 people. Like, I can pay you." Yeah. You got 40 people here that are out of work because you're just too efficient. I can't afford to let you stay on because all these people aren't feeding their family. It's a real thing. I think it'd be a hell of a fight.
I'd have thought they'd have just kept him on and sacked everyone else.
Well, that's what he said. He said, "Well, you're saving the money on 40 other people." He said, "That's 40 people whose families aren't eating." You know, the guy had, like, morals. He said, "I can't do that, even if I would be saving money."
Definitely made up then if you had morals.
Yeah, but some people fire the thing.
What was that?
All your employees you could fire that, you know, he's the dangerous one. You have some balls to fire the thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Thing's probably one of the most level-headed, easygoing. Like, he gets angry in clobbering time, but yeah, he's such
he's like Beast.
Contradiction. Yeah, that's another good one.
Yeah, it's because he looks like such a monster, but he actually probably has the biggest heart out of the entire.
So gentle.
Yeah, the entire group. You know, like even the whole Fantastic Four. Think about it. Like Reed Richards is cold-hearted as hell. Like he's too wrapped up in his science and everything. You know, like Sue's obsessed with Reed. Like, yeah, at least she has a heart. But Johnny's too young to really give a shit about anything. And and then you got the little kids. Like,
I'm just saying, keep Jean Grey away from Johnny, because that's the next character she'll turn gay.
Neve says, the ghost deterring things keep the embrace at bay.
It depends on what they are, because some of them, some of it would, some of it would. Like Salt, probably not, because Salt was specifically for evil spirits, and like David's not evil at all. It would really depend on the specifics of that thing, but yeah, like that's the right direction.
Let me pitch you a story idea, right? The Embrace encounters Tailless on a far distant planet, and they go head to head in a fight, right?
How do they get on the other planet?
Yeah, I don't know, ghosty things, right?
Okay.
Right. I can see, right? Do ghosty things deter the Embrace? Because see, Tailless's main thing is he has a gun that can transform into like whatever gadget he needs for that situation. So I could see this fight going two different ways. Either the Embrace disarms him and wins straight away, or Tailless turns his gun into a Ghostbusters proton pack and zoop, sucks the Embrace right up.
Well, no, even then, with the proton pack things of the Ghostbusters, you need a few of them to trap a ghost in place, because a ghost is too powerful for just one guy, usually to hold it down. And the Embrace is at least 10 times stronger than the strongest ghost you've ever seen in Ghostbusters. So you wouldn't be able to do it with just one proton pack, regardless.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would the ghost be able to?
Like, they would have a hard time, but they would get it done, because they're the Ghostbusters.
Would the ghost be able to magic up some catnip?
I mean, maybe.
Let me propose another scenario to you. On a far distant planet, the Embrace rattle and roll. What happened?
It's not a hero. It's not a superhero comic.
Would the Embrace survive in the void of space?
Yeah, he doesn't need to breathe. He's a ghost.
Yeah, but you get
he's essentially possessed. Yeah, like the body, the dad that is the body. Clarence. He really has less than half of the control of what's going on when they are the Embrace together, because he doesn't need to breathe. He doesn't when he gets shot. You remember when Spawn got shot in the movie and it was like glowing green coming out of his chest? It's something similar. Like, it doesn't actually hit Clarence's body inside the suit. Like, whatever happens to everything on the outside of it, like, you would need to hit him really, really hard to even affect Clarence inside the suit. Like, I'm not even sure how hard. Like, that's why I was saying Abbott would have to do it, because I can't think of many characters that can hit that hard to really knock Clarence around while he's inside the suit. Because when they're together, he's essentially invincible. But it's all the other limitations. Like, if you get Clarence during the day when he has nothing to do with David, and let's say he's just out having lunch or something, he's just a normal guy, and you could kill him straight away. You could sneak up on him if you really wanted to. There's nothing special about him at all. It is, but once you put him in that suit, there's not really much we can do about it.
Cool.
Dave, kill the stream.
Well, thanks for coming tonight, everybody. Now we know his weakness. You could expect a storyline with a very short story.
I think that'd make a good villain in the future, though, Dean. I think you should really consider that, since I know that you are co-creator of the Embrace, not just the artist. You actually share co-creator status on that character.
Yes, well, issue 2, when that comes out, that'll be out by the end of the year. Like, I've got all this year planned out. The Embrace 1 and the Embrace 2 will be out by the end of the year. But all of issue 2 is just basically everything I wanted to do. I came up with the villain. I came up with most of the scenes and everything. Like, obviously, Odin wrote it, because he's my writer. That's what he's for. But yeah,
it's a ballsy artist to say that's my writer. It's normally the other way around, isn't it? Writer saying, "Well, that's my artist."
Yeah, no, fuck it. I'm his artist. That's fine. You can say that. But like the first issue was almost entirely like Odin had that story planned out. It wasn't written when I showed up, but he had that story planned out. But basically, every villain, every supernatural element, like all of those extra things, they were all the things I added, and that's how I got co-creator. But when it comes to issue 2, that entire thing is a Dean story, and like it's like the Embrace is Alien, and the Embrace 2 is Aliens. And you can see that there's a very big difference. It's like, okay, that's where Dean's input is. I totally see it. All right.
Yeah, I look forward to reading that. I read the first one, and it's really, really good.
Well, he's nearly finished writing it now, so I'm looking forward to reading it myself.
Yeah. I've said before, I was reading the first one, there's some, because it's, about father-son type stuff and losing your son and that. There's a few times there I just had to step away from the script. Like, I'm just going to make a cuppa.
I'm having trouble drawing the page I'm up to right now.
Yeah,
I'm up to the page that shows, like everybody knows, like David's a ghost. He obviously dies, right? I'm up to the pages that shows what happened to David the night he died. And I swear, it's hard to draw, man. This stuff's terrible.
Mm.
And I'm being tasteful about it too. Like, obviously, you're not going to see some little kid get murdered, like just directly in the center of a panel or anything, right? But at the same time, I have to keep drawing him crying and him scared and these people like dragging him around and shit. It's terrible. I don't like it.
Don't cry on the artwork. Just like,
yeah, it's been pretty hard.
I think it's why the first Crow movie was so effective, because it was you got to see those little flashes of what happened to them, and that knowing they went through. And that's what you got to do. You got to make your bad guys as bad as possible, so when people come looking for revenge, it feels more like justice. When the bad guy does get what he gets.
He is a real piece of shit.
It looks like
it. That guy was created by both me and Odin together. Like, Odin created the original idea for him, and then I kind of fleshed that character out myself. Yeah, and there's a few things that are kind of spoilery, but I will tell you is that it's not just the Embrace versus normal people. Like, he does come up against superpowered villains and stuff throughout the series. But the main guy that they introduce is in the first issue is the guy that was responsible for David's death, and he's a real piece of shit. Like, he enjoyed all of it, and he's probably done it again. Like, David's probably not the last kid that was killed by this guy and this gang and this group of people. Like, yeah, he's got a big smile on his face the entire time. Like, it makes me sick. I love how evil I've made him, to be honest. But
you sound like a busy man, Dean. You're doing a lot of work. What else are you working on this year? You got anything else in the pipeline? Any other books that you're
working
on?
I'm working on a whole bunch of shit. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Embrace. I'm working on Sinner.
Oh, what's that? Tell me about that, mate.
Sinner is a book that you wrote, mate. That is actually something that was created by you that I'm going to be writing. That we're still keeping 100% secret. We haven't told anyone anything other than Sinner. And every time we mention it, it drives Dario nuts. And so I'm glad.
Well, I was hoping he was still around, actually. It was the whole reason I was doing this. I can't see if he's still here, but I was hoping he was around because
Is Sinner the name of the lead character?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Where do they stack up on the CG Battle Royale?
He's very much Batman street level. Yeah, so I would I'd be putting him sort of in like somewhere above Grand, above Henchman, but probably not Batman level. He doesn't have those sort of resources.
Level.
Yeah, I'd be putting him in that street level, dealing with street level criminals and
he beat the crap out of Daredevil.
Yeah, he's got some advantages there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I got send me a drawing. Hurry up, Dean.
What's the situation? What's the story behind Chicken Bones then? Like, is this the totally what's his name? Horace?
What?
Horace?
Yeah.
I don't know the characters' names. The guy who wears the suit, the Embrace suit.
Clarence.
Thank you very much. Does he like choke on a chicken bone or something?
No. I don't know.
Okay, because Dario has mentioned twice now chicken bones, and I got a pitch for Dr. Chicken Bone. I have no idea what's going on there.
Yeah, every time Dario speaks, everyone just kind of nods and laughs. But
I would have guessed it was like voodoo dudes throw the bones, they cast the bones, and use chicken bones and chicken. So maybe he's doing like a voodoo doctor type thing to come up against the Embrace. Maybe he's talking about that because it comes right after the comment about salt and sage sticks and stuff like that.
I'll show you something special. All right, it's gonna take me a minute to download it, but I'll show you something special.
All right,
we're going to be a face reveal.
Face reveal? What are you talking about? It's like you don't even pay.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count. Buy a camera, Dean. I'm going to tell your parents to buy your camera for your birthday.
Nah, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's the right one. I swear, if I don't have it saved, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm pretty sure this is the right one, though.
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's fine.
Dave, show us the Spock salute.
You guys are
Right, well done.
Get some tape. Does he actually have tape next? Why do you have tape next to your computer?
Scotch tape for comic.
Oh yeah, that is not the Embrace villain, Dario.
Well, until we see otherwise, Dean, that's the only information we got to go on. I definitely think there's somebody like one of the gangsters could call in, like a hoodoo voodoo type bloke, to try and deal with the Embrace. I think that's one way you can do it. Yeah, get a Scotch tape.
Sort your hair out then.
Okay, yeah, now go like this.
The strength.
So while we're waiting for Dean, let's see Dave start taping his face up and.
Don't do it, Dave.
Do it, Dave.
Do it, Dave.
Keep your head, Dave.
Do it.
Dave, do it.
No.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
What's he doing? Dean, can you hurry up, mate? The show's getting weird.
There's nothing I can do about this being weird, alright? I'm trying.
So we maybe have a look in the chat and see what we've missed. We've missed a lot today, haven't we?
It's all been weird.
Well, it has. Let's see. Oh, I see what you're saying now. Like with Dario, I consume massive amounts of pineapple before the ladies come over. I can understand why you would term him as being weird. Yeah. What are we looking at?
Zoom in.
Yeah, this is the first page of when you get to see the Embrace, like first page where he gets his suit and it does like the whole reveal where you get to see his hand up close, his chest, his face, as well as you get to see a full shot body shot where you can actually see that it's not just a guy in a suit. Like it's made him look a little creepier, like he's got extra long arms and things like that. And like that's not a mistake, like that's deliberate, his arms because he's supposed to look creepy and ghost-like and spooky, and then actually right behind it you can actually see David's memorial on the ground because he's in the car park, where this happened. Like you've seen the preview page where he actually gives the ghost David a hug on the Embrace campaign page. Well, yeah, this is the page right after that. Like he hugs his son, gets the whole vision thing of what happened that night, and then when he comes to, he's in this suit, and this is where he is. And I just finished inking this. This is off being colored and stuff by Paul. It's probably nearly finished being colored right now. But yeah,
is it digital or traditional, mate?
Traditionally drawn, but digitally inked.
Yeah, it's tight. It's just zoom in on those ground details if you don't mind. Just the foreground there.
Like this stuff.
Yeah, like even from the zoom out, it really stands out that you put a bit of time in there. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
The claws on the feet and the
that's actually my favorite thing. That's my favorite part of the entire design is the fact that he's got these weird, those boots look so cool, man. Come on.
Yeah. That's a great design. It's iconic.
Thanks, so man, it was an artistic decision not to cover, to have the hands underneath, from behind, but not covering his areolas.
Yes, yeah, that was an artistic decision. In fact, in some of the angles, if you get the right angle, it looks like his finger is.
I'm really surprised he didn't do one hand grasping underneath.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The hands move. The hands actually move around.
And two going around for the bounce.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
So if football does heads toward, if he's playing football, then one hand would be there from
he would be holding onto the football, and his other extra arms could be blocking people that are trying to tackle him and stuff like that. Yeah.
Have you seen those? You see them on people on TikTok a lot, where they got those little hands they put on the tips of their fingers. So they got
yeah, they wish.
That's basically the Embrace.
Yes, that is the embrace. That's actually our test footage for the live action movie. I'm surprised you've already seen that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
sick, man. Seriously.
This is the embrace. And yeah, the pencils for this page are actually for sale too. Like, this is one of the pages that are up for sale. Like, out of the 10 pages that you can get on the campaign, you can buy the original pencils. This is one of them.
I'll only buy it if you have that extra hand.
Don't tell me that. I got no money.
Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Like, you know, like having a campaign and saying, yeah, you can buy the original pencils, and then like somebody pays like $150 or whatever, and then you send them a pencil.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The pencils, like, we just draw these pages.
Sticky hand, sticky pencils, Dean.
A pencil with a rubber hand at the end of it. Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me, though. Every backer gets a free sticky hand with their book.
Personally delivered by Dean.
Yep.
Sticky hand.
That's actually true. That's actually true.
What was that, Aria?
Let's move on.
Each book gets a sticky handprint.
I'm not surprised to see it doing as well as it's done, Dean. I told you guys when I first saw the designs for it and the script for it, this is going to be a standout comic. And it doesn't surprise me at all that it's resonated with so many people and that it's received this sort of success. It's exactly the sort of niche that CG needs to be filling. It's not, no one else has really done it. You know, no one's cornered that supernatural superhero market. There's so much overlap with Spawn, Haunt, the Crow, all those sort of characters that have got that unearthly element to them. Yeah, darkness, definitely some darkness vibes. And the colouring on this book as well. I was just looking at this page here thinking how good this is going to look coloured by Paul Billick, because
Paul's so good.
He does those glow effects brilliantly, and the blue and white and black of the costume with the glow effects and everything. It's just such a striking... the easiest way to sum it up is what I've said before. I'm cross I didn't come up with this. This is the sort of character you see someone, guys, this. You see someone else make a character like, you bastard, you've done this, now I can't. I wish I'd come up with it first, but I wouldn't have been able to make it happen anytime soon. So I guess it's good that you guys are doing it.
Yeah, well, I'm very happy with it. Like, obviously, it's my first debut as a comic book artist, so I'm really excited, and I'm so humbled at the reaction that people have given. This is
what else was humbling is how brilliant whoever it was that brought you two guys together. Like the absolute mad genius that decided to suggest your art style would fit Michael's writing. I don't know what sort of big bearded blue-eyed
who did that?
Wild guess, but he must be an absolute Adonis.
Welcome,
The genetic jackhammer. Yeah, you're welcome, Dick.
Yeah, thanks, man. But yeah, it was Kemosabe who introduced me and Odin, who was like, yeah, because Odin approached Lee and was like, do you know anyone? Do you know any artists? And then Lee, I recently
know one artist.
Lee gave him my name and someone else's name as well. Yeah, we can talk about that later, mate.
I don't even know who that was.
But yeah, Odin went to me first because he didn't even know the other artist. So lucky me. And then, yeah, from there, like I designed, he originally needed the character design. Like he hadn't written the script or anything yet. He had the idea for like the ghost and the father and the son and, making a superhero out of that. But that was as far as it had gone. And yeah, like it wasn't until I designed the character that he even got the hand powers. Like that was straight out of the character design,
Mm.
He had the name though. The Embrace was the first thing that he came up with. He goes, he loved that name.
I knew that your style would really suit it because you've got that high contrast style with lots of, like you use lots and lots of blacks, lots of darks to like less line work and more like Frank Miller, he defines stuff by negative space. I feel that's what you're moving into as an artist.
Yeah, I'm trying to move away from that, but I can't, like that seems like that's my natural go-to when I'm drawing,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to move away from that because my pencils look a lot scratchier than my inks do. My inks end up very smooth and solid, where my pencils have a lot more line, which is why part of the reason I swapped to traditional pencils. I think I'm ending up with actually a better final product at the end of the day because I'm doing, traditional drawings and I'm finishing them 100% in pencils and then just tracing over it digitally by inking it,
Yeah. I think your stuff could look good with like a Bill Sienkiewicz type inker, someone who's that really scratchy style on top of your pencils, with that sort of Arkham Asylum, that really surreal feel. It'd have to be a specific project, but I think that would really, really work for it. And like I know Dario's pain there, he said about getting a different colorist. Like the guy I got doing colors on mine, he's awesome, but he's really, really busy. And I'd just like to see more from him more often, because we're right at the end there. We've just got the last couple of pages. I'm like, come on, man, let's make it happen. I'm too far in to get someone else. It'd be too much of a financial investment. But I know people who have been halfway through a project and have had a falling out with their colorist. The colorist can't fulfill that obligation, and they've just found someone else that can mimic that style. I think it's easier to mimic a coloring style than it is to mimic an artistic style. You can say to someone, draw like Jim Lee. It's like, forget about it. Say color like this guy. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
So
I can copy a picture Jim Lee drew and make it look the same. But if you want me to try and draw something and pretend I'm Jim Lee as I'm doing it, that's a completely different talent that most people can't do.
No, but being able to mimic a coloring style is definitely doable. So if I don't know if Dario's unhappy with his colorist, or the colorist just isn't coming through like you'd want, I'd keep that in mind. It's definitely, there's a lot of more colorists out there, and they're really competitively priced. I mean, you can find people throwing down flats for $5 or $10 a page.
Yeah, they priced me out of coloring entirely because I couldn't afford to keep up with how cheap some of the other colorists were. It's like, that's shit. Because coloring takes a fair while. If you're going to do a proper job, it'll take you hours to do it properly. And you might even take you a whole day and then the next day as well, just to do it all. All the lighting, all the shading, everything, do it properly. Or you can just, but you're getting people that do that for really cheap. And so it's not like, you're paying cheaper and you're getting lower quality. It's you're paying cheaper and these guys are just trying to, they're pricing each other out of the market. Basically, they're super competitive. And I'm just not a colorist anymore because of that. I'm coloring for Callaway, and that's it.
Barton Scotsman is an example of that. Like, his coloring's fantastic.
Yeah. Even Paul was half as expensive as I thought he was going to be. Like, our colorist for the Embrace is the colorist from Shinobi Sasquatch, and I thought he was going to be really expensive. And like, obviously, I'm not going to tell you his prices in public or anything. That's rude. But I am going to tell you he was a lot cheaper than I thought he was going to be. I was willing to pay 4 times as much as what he asked. So.
I bet you didn't say that before, did you?
Yeah, no, definitely didn't tell him that afterwards, but we did. Like, we made a whole thing about how we were very happy that he was cheap, because Paul was the choice that, like, he was my first choice when I needed a colorist. I said, can we get this guy? Hopefully,
yeah. After he raises his rates, I'm going to cut together this clip with the Seinfeld music.
What I like about Dario as a troll is you're never sure if he's trolling you or if he's just being straight, because he says so many outrageous things. Anything he's saying could be real, or it could just be like an outrageous troll. So he's just said here that he got suggested Dio Lima as a colorist. And it's like, that's my colorist, motherfucker. Back off. It's hard enough to get him to get 5. It's hard enough to get 5 pages from him in a week without Dario jumping in and trying to steal my thunder.
Right,
cheeky boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, and Dave gone. He's back. Oh, he looks angry.
Bristolian
streaming
Dave like Easter egg.
Dave does like Easter eggs.
I got to take a
we've been streaming for an hour and a half, and I have been awake since yesterday lunchtime for you guys.
It's not even
7 a.m.
yet.
What the fuck? It's 9:45 a.m. And I had the pleasure of waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Rough.
So I'm going to have to kill this stream because I'm too tired.
Yeah.
Dokily.
But we will definitely get you back on as many times as we can. And now that I know that you have to wake up even earlier, get you on every day.
No, doesn't matter. I'm normally up at 6 with the kids anyway, so getting up at 5 is only a little bit earlier. It's not a big deal.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Right.
So we've got like 2 minutes to show campaigns.
Yeah,
Jacobus, quickly.
I'm going to quickly blast through
blast through all the campaigns. That's not a campaign.
Sign up to The Adventures of Towless by Aria. He is saying it's not a furry comic, but you have to buy it to find out.
Hang on, that's not how we're going to sell it on this show, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what someone with a furry comic would say.
Hey, look, we're talking about resurrections, characters resurrecting, and dying, coming back to life. Captain Fuckhead, legendary CGUK guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's died, and guess what? If you want,
I know where he is. I know where Captain Fuckhead is.
Tail us in outer space. If you want to find out Captain Fuckhead,
no, I'll show you. Captain Fuckhead has done a full rebrand and everything. I didn't even know it was Captain Fuckhead until I went through our old messages. I was like, what the fuck?
No. Captain Fuckhead died. It's the end of him.
Yeah,
no more.
don't go there. Move along, Dracobus.
Rest
move
in
along.
power,
Quick,
King.
quick,
Rest in
quick.
power, King.
Yeah.
All right. Then.
Back the Embrace. It's doing ridiculously well, but it could be doing even better.
Yeah, well, once we get to 150, whoever the 150th backer is gets a free head sketch by me.
I
we're
don't
pretty
understand
close to
why
that,
people do that, because isn't everyone going to wait to back it now?
You think that, right? But the way I see it is, you guys can either get nothing by not getting us to 150, or you can stick it to the man. And in this case, the man is me and Odin, who are keeping all of these awesome art pieces and secrets and things for you. You think 150 is the last thing we're going to be giving away for free? Nah, it's only the last thing we'll be giving away for free if you guys can't band together and do the right thing to stick it to the man.
So communism, yeah?
I guess. That's how Mark would describe it anyway, communism. Yeah.
The company men as well, that has got 15 days left.
Yeah,
Also
we've got a
doing really well.
big campaign for the last 15 days. A lot of stuff to go through, a lot more perks, a lot of items and stretch goals. We just recently hit the 625, 6250 stretch goal, which means that the Dax Martian pinup's been included in every physical backers tier. So once we get to 500, we're going to be including Dean's pinup. He's got a fantastic pinup the company man did way back when that he's still mad at me that nobody has...
I did it so long ago that now I hate it, and if I was to draw it again today, it would look completely different. That's how long ago I drew it.
I just thought these are both on 137 backers.
Are we? All right,
Yeah.
I caught up.
It's funny, a lot of people prioritize the number of backers, but I always look at the dollar value for me. That's what...
Yeah, well, that's why you shouldn't have a digital tier.
I maintain those, 14, 15 people that bought digital might have bought nothing if I didn't have it there. I think I'd rather get the book out into people's hands. And this is part 1 of 3. I want people to be able to read the first one and go, oh, hell, that was really good. I want to get the next 2. Whereas Embrace is more standalone. So if somebody reads it or doesn't, that might be their one and only book. Or they pick up the second one.
I think the company men, I see where you're coming from. I like the idea of doing it for the first book, yeah, but I would definitely not have it for the second book, because the way you're saying it there, it sounds like, it's the introduction. If you're not sure about Company Men, buy the digital one. It's half price, and then you can check it out. And then if you do like it, come back for issue 2. But then when issue 2 is out, I don't think there should be a digital copy, because that's already past the point where you're trying to introduce people to these characters. If they're interested,
I'm all for digital copies. I am. I think they're
you
amazing.
would be. You would be.
I am. Nah, because especially for you ex-cons, it's really expensive, isn't it?
Postage costs a lot, but it's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make. I've spent up to $100 on postage before. So
mad lad.
Yeah.
Also, Twisted Fairy Tales has got the awesome print by Venom Arts that will be free for all the backers that sign up and back a physical tier.
How many stories we got so far?
About 2,000, I think.
I don't have the thing open. Last time I checked, we was on 58 story pages.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nice.
I think Rabbi is going to send us a story over as well to be added into it. So that'll put us in 60-something story pages.
Cool. Is that with art as well?
Eh?
Is that with art as well? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So
nice.
definitely get in there.
Yeah.
Right. As you two may not know, on the bargain bin, we end the show with a gay wave to everybody.
Oi! Rattle and roll.
Oh shit! I forgot. It's because
bloody hell.
Don't give me this shit, because every time I say to you, hey, are you going to share rattle and roll? And you go, I haven't done anything.
Well, no, I haven't done so much, but I have along. And let's see what I can show very quickly. How much? Yeah, I'm. It's getting there. It's a good thing my lovely lady wife has a color printer at her work, because then I don't I don't have a printer here. I've got a printer, but it's only black and white. It's a laser printer. So yeah, I I've got 7 pages nearly finished, which is not so much really. But then again, I have been working on the Twisted Fairy Tales. So there you go.
Leaves posting links to Rattle and Roll and all the books we just talked about in the
Yeah.
live chat. So check it out if you want to see any of the books that we just
Good on,
mentioned.
Steve.
But also,
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Good night to Derek as well, Rob.
Say what?
I said say good night to Derek for me as well.
Oh yeah. Well, it's now that we shifted to 8 o'clock until 8 o'clock till 9:30 UK time. It's not so bad, when I have to when it's like Comic Mark's show, for example. I mean, it's like nearly midnight by the time we're finishing, and it's my Derek at Whittleflower has to be up the next morning for work. So. Righty. So with that, shall we say adieu, bonne nuit, Nosda?
I won't say that.
Hey.
Alrighty. So this is going to be difficult for Dean because of course we can't see him, but for the rest of everybody, and Dave is gone. But we like to end the show with a bit of a wave, don't we?
You got to have the gay wave to the.
Yeah. All right then. So on the count of 1, 2, 3.
Kemosabe, I'm not going to end the broadcast until I see you waving.
I did like a little.
No, you got to keep waving until it's
Keep waving.
Keep waving.
Yeah, like you remember what's in the box? It was on.
move your hand.
Nice gun.
Kill it, Jacobus.